Welcome to the Bold Pride Worldwide Experience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Webmaster, you got a little Latin rhythm, Latin tumbao for us? Yes, yes. Keep it going, Webmaster. Keep it going. Salud. Hey, thank you for that, Webmaster. Thank you for getting this party started in the right way. In fact, let me get it started. Check. 1, 2, check, baby. Alvarez, Bold Pride Worldwide. And first off, blessings to the extended Bold Pride Worldwide family. What are we? October 18th. Can you believe it? We're 5 games into the season with a bye. That's another story right now. But hey, this party train's rolling, baby. And welcome everyone to this next party stop in this Bold Pride Worldwide Experience podcast party, a Brown Side of the Moon production. This party train since 1992. Bold Pride has been about Chargers. It's been about family. It's been about respect. It's been about having a great time. And these podcast parties, the great times continue. And now I think this is number 16. Congratulations to all for joining us. And we'll meet my tag team partner in a second, but we're having a great time. The party continues and the season started. The purpose of this podcast party was to capture the Bold Pride Worldwide Experience, past, present, and future. We've done that. To connect the Bold Pride Worldwide family, we've done that. And to feature our hosts for the away games, the Charger away games, all the hosts organizing the party plans. Respect to all the hosts out there. They've been putting in the work already. We know that. We know that in Nashville. We know that in Minnesota, and coming up here in Kansas City. But we've met the hosts. We've covered the season. The hosts are down waiting, and you got to meet them. And you can meet them every time you go to our YouTube channel, One Bold Pride. Go to the live videos. You can meet them again. So we've done that. Now we continue. This party stop. Oh, this one's very special to me. Before the away games, we had the founders, the original 4. And we had the next generation. We've had lowriders. We had tail greeter. But now we continue to have some fun. This one's special. and we go back in the history books and down memory lane, Bull Pride memory lane, and tonight's guest is a very special guest, dear friend, buddy, friend of the Bull Pride Worldwide family. We're gonna get to meet him, so I'm excited. But before we get to that, I want to invite my tag team partner in these party stops, podcast party stops. Webmaster, can you please join me?
Good
How you
evening,
doing,
Rudy.
Webmaster?
Good evening. Coming live from San Diego.
Live from 619. That's right.
Exactly.
You're looking good, representing like that, Webmaster. Good to see you. And 16. This is our number 16th party stop. What do you think of that, Webmaster?
Wow. Wow,
Hey,
that's pretty good. 16.
And when you're having a good time, they go by pretty quickly, don't they?
Oh yeah.
And now that we finished the away games, now we continue. Well, we always have fun, but now we have fun in terms of, okay, where's our next party stop? And there's some good ones coming up. Stay tuned in the closing. We'll see the next party stop. But today's party stop, Webmaster, like you go back 19 years. This is 20th year with the Bull Pride Worldwide family. Our next guest goes back a few years. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And oh yeah, Webmaster says, oh yeah. And hey, all these podcast parties, getting to connect the worldwide family, but to meet our guests and learn their stories. How much fun has that been, Webmaster?
Oh, especially our guest tonight is gonna be. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. So let's not keep him waiting too long. He's sharing of his time on his day off to join the worldwide family. And let me ask you, our guest is ready in the green room?
He's ready.
He's ready. Are you ready, Webmaster? We got the pictures and the videos ready to go?
Yes.
Listen, let's keep this party going. Webmaster, thank you for all you do, all your talents you brought to the family. Let's do it. Let's bring in the guests. Let's have some fun. Thank you, Webmaster. Hey, that's right. If the family doesn't recognize him in this way, they know him in other ways. But yes, our VIP guest, this is titled Behind the Bolt Lens. Our Chargers team photographer, Mike Nowak. Buddy, how are you?
Ralph, good to see you. How you been?
Hey, it's always great to see you. Always. It's very special. And tonight's podcast party, to me, it means a lot because, we've seen each other for so many years. We enjoy your work for sure. But just saying hello, brother, it's just so special. And thank you for joining us, the family. We've experienced the podcast parties in many ways, mostly as fans. We've had Air Coryell brought into the podcast party first through Todd Tobias, who I think you might know, author, Charger historian, but then also Willie Buchanan. So we've had Air Coryell, we've had the player's perspective through Willie. Of course, the fans, the extended Bull Pride family, they've joined us. But brother, this is behind the Bolt Lens. The family sees you, but we have, this is an opportunity to learn what does it look like behind the Bolt Lens, and also meet you and learn your story, which I'm excited about. So with that, Webmaster, can you please bring up the pictures? Thank you, Webmaster. All right, there's the first one. This is what the Charger team photographer looks like. And before we get into your experience as our team photographer, brother, help us to meet you in another way. Help us to connect the dots. So I've known you for years as our team photographer, but is that where your story began? Where are you originally from, brother?
Originally born in LA, moved down when I was 5, and then been in San Diego ever since. Been with the Chargers for 25 years. And before that, it was a little bit with the Padres, San Diego State, and just whatever I can get my hands into to learn more about photography.
Hey, that is beautiful. Thank you. And so you began in LA, you came down to San Diego. I'm glad you did. And you answered a question I was going to ask. Once we got to your role as a team photographer, how many years? You just told us 25 years. I think that's amazing. And of course, 25 years would put you out there sometime around 19, I'm guessing 90, 99 maybe, 98, 99, right?
98.
98. Okay,
Goes,
well,
goes by
tell me.
it goes by quick.
Hey, don't get me started on that. And we'll make an example of that in a moment. But yeah, Boat Pride going back to 1992, and yes, at some point, that team photographer, we have a new photographer, and it's Mike Nowak. But we'll talk about that. Tell us, this is behind the Bolt lens, and you just mentioned Padres, Aztecs, yeah, we'll go with this. Tell us about your passion for photography. Where did that start for you?
That started back in high school. It was back in the film days. We didn't have digital. You had to roll your own film. I developed it, made the negatives, went in darkroom, made prints. I really enjoyed the whole process, with the several steps from, your exposure to your processing, post-production, all of that went into your final print. And so it's basically, it's things have changed with technology, but it's still the same. You capture digitally, and your darkroom is Photoshop. So you can, manipulate, adjust your exposure, and, produce something that, you were after, like either with the light, the contrast, the subject matter, to, push your creative process a little bit. And that's what I like to do. I like to be creative. And, I think it shows in my work. I'm always learning new things as technology changes. So does my photography, because there's always something new you can learn and a different angle. And with these new cameras, you can really push the boundaries that you couldn't really do even a handful of years ago.
Wow, absolutely. And I love that. And being old school myself, I have to believe that early experience, before all this digital technology, those are some fundamentals. And those are, the skills you developed in the dark room and really getting your hands in there. I have to believe, like you said, they serve you very well, especially with today's technology, right?
Oh, absolutely. The fundamentals were, for color, picking the right film. Um, as the light changes, you have to really pay attention to it, because you have a 36 exposure roll of film, as opposed to, 4,000 or 5,000 exposures you can fit on one card these days. So you had to really be mindful of your exposure, your light. Always kept a Sharpie with me. What they did back in the day, if the light shifted, you can push your film from 100 to 200 to 400 ASA ISO, 400 to 800 to 1600 to 32. You can push it in degrees of stops. And so if you wanted it pushed 3 stops, you'd write a 3 on the film canister, so the lab would know to push it 3 stops. And, that's how we did it. It was a process.
Hey, and of course, very necessary Sharpie, huh? That Sharpie was an important tool.
Tool of the trade right there.
Hey, I love it. I love it. Now tell me, you have a passion for photography. You identified Chargers, well, Chargers, of course, now, but Padres, Aztecs. What you're a photographer. What is it that drew you into sports? I'm thinking sports first, maybe football, but what was the connection there for you?
You know what? I was always really active as a kid. I was into surfing, bodyboarding. I ended up just photographing every sport I got into. So surfing, I did that for a few years. I photographed downhill mountain bike racing for a while when I was racing mountain bikes. A little bit in the motorcycles. football, it was all the college sports, you know, being with San Diego State, and, you know, on campus, I was drawn into basketball, hockey, and football. Fortunately, I was able to, you know, dip my toes in quite early, and, you know, I was shooting Aztec games. I was down on the field at earliest, I think I was 16, just not knowing what I was doing, and just soaking it all up. Just like
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I apologize if I interrupted you there. Soaking it all up. And I think you've done a pretty good job of soaking it all up, and you come a long way there. Now let me ask you this before we get into you as a team photographer, because you're drawn to sports and you're shooting a lot of action sports. Love it. A lot of skills there. But your team, you moved to San Diego. What I'm not gonna assume here. What was your NFL team before becoming that photographer, the team photographer? What was your team?
Chargers. Absolutely.
Nice. And if it was the Chargers, see, I always ask the question, why Chargers? For me, it was Air Coryell. That era was magic. What drew you? What really your recollection, your earliest recollection of, I'm a Charger fan and this is why. What's your earliest recollection? Why Chargers?
As a kid, it was my hometown team. You know, I grew up in San Diego, and Padres baseball and Chargers football. Everything about it. Just from Dan Fouts, Phillip Rivers, and now we got Justin. So I mean, it's to be around the team that long. It's just been great to see the different athletes come in and just how they prepare for a game, and being a fly on the wall in some cases, and it's been an honor to be doing it this long. And when you've been doing it as long as I have, a lot of the retired players, they're now your friends. You see them at the alumni game every year, and it's really cool.
Well, as fans, hey, I'm not going to say envious, but we love it for you. Love it for you. Love your experience. Of course, it's a pretty cool thing. And in fact, the hometown kid becomes, because you're hometown, we claim you. Hometown kid becomes a team photographer for the Chargers. But let me ask you this. Before becoming that team photographer, and you now have all access to the field and behind the scenes, did you, in fact, or did you have a chance growing up to attend a Charger game and see your team, the hometown team? If you did, what do you recall?
Before I was,
yes,
I went to almost every Aztec game. My dad was, he worked over at San Diego State, so we went to every single Aztec game. And I think, honestly, I was only to one other Charger game before I became the team photographer.
Okay.
It's just, I think with all my other activities on Sunday, racing mountain bikes and doing other things, I didn't have a chance to go to many games.
Okay, brother. But hey, the hometown kid becomes the Charger team photographer. And let me see if this is going to advance right. Yes, it is. There he is. I don't know, what years this may have been, but you're there. And this is in the bench area, maybe. I don't know if it's in the locker room, but you now have access to behind the scenes. Of course, you've been doing it with Aztecs, but now it's the NFL. Tell me, for you, we asked the players, Willie B, for example, what was your welcome to the NFL moment? So you're the team photographer. What was your welcome to the NFL moment for you, brother?
Welcome to the NFL moment. Literally, I got the job, and next thing I know, I'm in the locker room, and there's Junior Seau. So it was like, here I am. Let's go. Someone that you've looked up to, and then from a fan, and then you see them as a person, and and same thing, how they prepare for the game, and just their drive, and then you're trying to capture that through images, and tell a story. And that's what I love about photography.
Well, and you tell many stories. I know that, but that's a classic moment. Welcome to the NFL. You know you're in the NFL locker room now. Hometown boy, team photographer. There's Junior Seau. Are you
There
kidding
it is.
me?
Yeah, Rodney Harrison, all those guys. It was surreal, you know. And you know, here we are 25 years later, and I still love it.
25th anniversary. Congratulations. You still love it, and we love what you do. The pictures. I mean, and you're telling many stories for the fans. We're on the outside looking in. You're on the inside, and you're capturing these moments. So thank you. Now let me ask you this, just to you know, and I've reached out to you many times, and I know I'm careful in reaching out because you're very busy, and your schedule. You know, you're traveling with the team, but especially at home. Fans, we know game time, and we know when the gates open for the tailgate. And I know you're out there pretty early, so help us understand the team photographer. If it's a 1 o'clock game, when are you at the stadium? What are your pregame preparation? What do you go through? Because you don't just show up at 1 o'clock, you know, and start shooting pictures, do you?
No. We're pretty early. We're earlier than we used to be. I think it's just with the digital age and you know, the turnaround is so quick. We make sure that, you know, everything is prepared. You know, for a 1 o'clock game, we get there at the stadium at 7. And so it's me, Ty Noel, and we have a couple other people helping us out. And so what that does is, you know, lets us set up our remote cameras, sync the times to all the cameras. That way, when we're editing, everything syncs up, and then just, you know, go through the game plan and, you know, usually get to photograph the locker room, grab the players as they arrive. Quite a few of them have different outfits, or you know, some of their dressing up is really something that I like to capture. Guys appreciate it, and then we also put that out on social media. So it's just a big team. I mean, there's a lot of people involved, from shooting video to social media and all that. So our team just gets there a little bit earlier to make sure that we can help everybody else out throughout the day.
I love it. And so you're there early. You and your team, and you know, video. Everyone. The team sets the timing. You get to a 1 o'clock game. You're all over the field. You're in the stadium, in the locker room. Game's over. The team heads to the locker room, win or lose, and you keep shooting. What time does it's a home game? 1 o'clock start. It ends sometime around 4:30. What time does your day end after shooting the pictures, brother?
Usually the next morning. Yeah, we have a really fast turnaround with the digital files now, and so basically, as soon as we get done shooting, we will download everything to our laptops and begin basically calling through the photos and picking out all the selects. So we might have, you know, anywhere between 400 and 800 pictures out of thousands that we pick. And then after we take those, we will go in and do all the color correcting, cropping, and then the metadata goes in. So it's tagged with, you know, if it was a touchdown, the player's name, if it's home or away. Everything helps, because when we load it into our cloud server, anybody in the organization can look for photos by typing in keywords such as, you know, Justin Herbert, and then all his pictures will pop up. So it's the days of just throwing some slides into a holder and dropping them off, or you know, are over. It's a bigger process, but when all that work is done, you know, everybody else gets to enjoy the organization of being able to find a photo from your desk without having to email anybody asking for a certain photo. Everything is searchable.
Wow. And so did I hear you correctly? Game's over. And in many ways, your work is just beginning. You have thousands of pictures. Your team has thousands of pictures, and you're going to pull some hundreds, 800 or so. And the work continues through the night. Is that what I heard?
Oh yeah. Like a home game, usually get home about, it depends. If it's 4:35, get back around 6:37, maybe 8, and then I'll edit until 11:30 midnight, and then I'll give my eyes a rest till 3 in the morning, 3:34, and then jump on it and finish all the color correcting so that we can have them usually done by 8 in the morning. And then our manager, Ty Noel, will take all the photos from the photographers and make a gallery for the website. And at the same time, they're loaded onto our cloud-based server, Photo Shelter. And then all the social media people, our writers, the video can grab pictures for thumbnails. Coaches even use them for some of their teaching methods. So it's important for us to get those up as soon as possible after a game, because once that's done, we're on to the next one.
I love it. I'm just in awe, brother. We see one picture here. We see a team photographer probably in a calm moment, maybe the calm before the storm. But everything from there on out, the game's been over hours the day before, and your team, congratulations, great work. We certainly love it. Thank you for sharing. Now, speaking of sharing, I invited you to share some pictures. And brother, you shared so many, and I love them all. And I just have a collage of pictures to share with the family and maybe get some insights from you. I don't know. these fish eyes you just threw out there. I said, yeah, I like them too. What's going on here? What is it that you're looking at?
Those are back in 04, 05. It's an 8mm circular fisheye. There's a unique look. I like doing coin tosses with them. You get both sides around the ball, and it's a kind of a neat perspective. It's a little limited in its use, but it's I still like using it even with digital. Sometimes I have to do a lens correction on it, so it pulls everything crazy sideways. So it's just something fun. Make it different.
Hey, keep making it different. It's fun for us too. Thank you for sharing that. Now, here's a personal one. Yes, this is in the queue. Back in the day, it was around the holidays, and this is for me one of my favorite Nowak specials. Mike Nowak in the end zone, field 17. The family, you know where that was, and the Bold Pride banner. And imagine the defense. Our defense had the other team probably close to the goal line. That's because they were pinned and we were closest to the action. It was amazing. And you're on the field. You're taking these pictures. But thank you, by the way, for capturing the memory. But I wanted to share this and just get your perspective. You're focused on your work, the play on the field. But the fans and thank you for the worldwide family sees Mike Nowak. They yell out, Mike Nowak, and you snap pictures. What was it for you as a photographer? That feeling, you're on the field, the kid from San Diego, the team photographer, and the stadium, the queue in those days, but the stadium is packed and the fans are just cheering and going nuts. How was that from your perspective as a photographer and a fan, maybe?
It's electric. When you have that many people cheering, it's hard to explain. Like you said, when the fans, after, get to know you and your work and they do call out your name, I think one of the best experiences I had is when we were in London and we found you guys. I forget where it was, one of the pubs, and just wanted to grab some pictures of you guys. And we walked in there and everybody started chanting, Mike, Mike, Mike. And that was, to this day, it was probably one of my best moments. I mean, I thank you very much. I mean, you mentioned family, and it's family, whether down on the field shooting or, everybody's doing something, and open arms and big hugs, and, that's what it's all about.
Oh man. Hey, thank you, brother. That means a lot to me. We're going to touch on that in a moment, but thank you for sharing that perspective. And as fans, our team, I think, and I mean, it's not exactly like this, but if we all had helmets and shoulder pads, we would go on that field as well. Of course, we couldn't, but it's just the passion. And thank you. And I want to thank, huh?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the passion.
Absolutely, it is passion. It's passion.
You guys come walking in at the queue, holding the banner, coming down the upper deck, and then coming down to your spot. That was people noticed. It was something else.
Oh, see, now you're going down memory lane. Thank you for sharing that memory. For the worldwide family, that's right. At the queue, there was a walkway in the front of Plaza, between Plaza and Field, and that's right. Our seats were in Field 17, but we came in with that banner. It's over 20 feet long. We would come in on the east side, coming in on the stadium Jumbotron in those days, down to that walkway, front of Plaza, and paraded that Bold Pride banner around the whole stadium. And just that experience was unlike any other. That meant we're ready for the game. We're ready as fans. A Bold Pride is in the house. And Mike, thank you for that, brother. And in fact, thank you for this memory. In 2010, you had a special assistant, and talk about how time flies. That's my daughter, the little coach, before she went off to USC for bachelor's, and I'll throw her under the bus. It's 2023. My baby, the little coach, is now 31. And
wow.
Mike, how time has flown. But you've been a friend, family, brother. And that the little coach was you made, I mean, those are memories for a lifetime, to be your assistant and to have that experience, brother. So, and thank you very much. Just wanted to share that. But
my pleasure. Yeah, that was a fun day.
That was a fun day. Thank you. And you talk about, the fans, the family. This is a Mike Nowak special also. Mexico City, Bold Pride family. We were 264 strong across, 244 across the end zone. We took over the first 3 rows, and there on the field, back of the end zone, was Mike Nowak. Mike, I called out, and you took our picture, brother. So just great memories. In fact, you've been to London. You mentioned London. We'll see London in a second. Mexico City. When you think of away games, you mentioned London, but what's a favorite away game for you? Away game city that in your many years of traveling with the team, what's a favorite site?
A favorite site? Oh, I'm a foodie, so being able to, get a taste of the NFL, you'd call it, I guess. Taste of, the States. Chicago for pizza, Green Bay cheese curds, barbecue in Kansas, Texas barbecue. It's there's so many great places. And then I just haven't been to every stadium is also, something that, I've checked off, and that's been something, I'm pretty proud of. But,
you should be proud of. You should be proud of it. As fans, we celebrate you. You're going to every stadium. You're behind the scenes. You're traveling with the team. You're on the field, brother. That is some, lifestyle for you. Of course, it's a lifestyle for us. And then, this is, again, this is what happens when Mike Nowak, our buddy, our brother, is on the field, and you see him, Mike Nowak. This was Nashville, brother. And you just turned around and snapped a picture. And there's a picture. So thank you. Great memories. And then you mentioned London. This was the place. And I'll tell you, this is one of my favorite Nowak pictures. This is not behind the boat lens. This is with the family. This is in London. This is the compa George, who you know very well with his iconic sombrero. Shout out to the compa. But I like you there joining us, enjoying, you know, a cold drink, brother. How about this picture?
Having a pint. Gosh, that was the great night when you guys were all cheering my name when I walked in. So always remember that experience, and that picture brings back some memories, because it's, you know, it's a busy weekend, and I think it was pretty late at night, and we just tracked you guys down, and you know, it was awesome. Such a great vibe, and you guys, you know, it's all because of you guys.
Hey, thank you, brother. That means a lot to me. Like I said, you know, to have you join us is special. You know, we see you on the field. I see you on the field, and to call out to you, but to have you join us in this experience for us, because in every away game there's a Bold Pride meet and greet, thanks to the host, a meet and greet and a tailgate party, sometimes an after party. Arizona wanted a Tempe takeover on Friday night or Thanksgiving weekend. Hey, the Bold Pride family, they don't need, you know, instructions on how to have a good time. They know exactly how to do it. So that was special for us also. And then we get back to some of your pictures. You said, you know, here's a favorite with Flutie on the field. Tell us about this as one of your favorite pictures, brother.
Yeah, I like Flutie, the way he played the game. I also won an award with one of when he came out on the field after 9/11 carrying the American flag. And so, you know, we just kind of, you know, became friends. You know, when I won the award, he stopped what he was doing at practice and walked up to me and shook my hand. So, I mean, just a great guy, great family. So it's just got a little picture with him to remember.
Hey, congratulations for all of the above, and to have this picture to remember. Congratulations. And then, hey, I'm interested. Here you are. You sent another picture. Explain to us what's going on. How is this a favorite?
2005, the team got a tour of the White House. So we rolled up in our buses, and I think that's the Garden. And yeah, such a great day. I mean, you know, when else can you just go away for the weekend for work and you get a tour of the White House? I mean, special moments throughout my career, and that's one of them.
I love it. And they are special moments. Congratulations. And other special moments, tell us. You sent this picture. What's behind the picture? What can you share with us?
You know, I like that one because it's, you know, after a score, they have the flag runners that run through the end zone, and that was taken from the other end zone with a long lens, probably 600, and it was just Justin looking out in the middle of the field, and the flag just whipped behind him. So it was just a kind of a composition thing. It wasn't planned. It just kind of worked out, and I just kind of like the shot. It's subtle, but you know, thought I'd send it your way.
No, and thank you for sending it. I think we all like the shot. Great shot, brother. And then you have this shot. Tell us why this shot? What are you seeing here?
Again, it's just composition. Another long lens. I just been kind of, for the last several years, been like shooting with a 600 from end zone to end zone, and you know, just our receiver making the catch, and you know, their defender just not doing much right there. But you know, he looks like his timing was a bit off, but worked out for us, and it made a good looking photo.
It makes a great looking photo. And you mentioned the lens, you mentioned end zone to end zone. I imagine in 25 years, and because that's the point of it, you don't know where the plays are going to take place. You just have to be there. You know, in 25 years, I have to imagine you've learned some tricks. You learned how to anticipate. You know how to box out other photographers. Like, no, I'm going to post up. We see you with your gear. You know, it takes skill to be in the right place at the right time to catch these pictures. Yes, brother?
It does. I mean, the game in itself is a routine. Players have a routine. I have a routine just because I follow the players from pregame to start of the game. But once the game starts, anything can happen. So it's a completely different mindset. You're anticipating what might happen, what you hope will happen, and then you just try and tell a story through your pictures. So, great plays make great celebrations. So I just try and capture everything and share it with everybody else.
And for that, we thank you. And talk about becomes a habit. You do this and you do that. I don't know. Here's some pictures you sent. You don't play every game at home and under the SoFi cover or in the dome. You get some cold weather games and cold weather and maybe wet weather. Here's just some pictures from all of the above, brother. Tell us the cold weather, wet weather, when you're dealing with nature and certain conditions. What how is that like? What is that like for you?
Rain is probably the worst, just because of all the electronics you're carrying. Not so much now with digital, but back in the day when we were shooting film, if people that don't know anything about film, if it gets wet, you're in trouble. So when your 36 frames are up, you would have to run up into a tunnel to change a roll of film and hope you don't get any water drops on it. Otherwise, it'll stick to it. And then the cold weather, that's keeping your hands warm. So I'll wear fingerless gloves, but I still need to be able to touch my controls and feel them. So we use those little heating pads. I stick them everywhere depending on how cold it is. I'll stick them in my gloves. I'll stick them, one game I had them tucked into my beanie over my ears because it was that cold. So it's just, you still want to tell the story, but you have to endure some of the harshness of what Mother Nature can throw at you at times. And knock on wood, turning into a lightweight. It's been pretty good weather the last few years. So.
Hey, well, all I'm hearing is, I wouldn't be surprised in a post-game locker room, especially after a win. I hear, they should say, and the game ball goes to Mike Nowak. Mike Nowak capturing the stories. I love it, brother. Great share. And speaking of share, there you go.
There you
I
go.
asked, brother, favorite players. You mentioned a trio. A trio, not one. On the left, we know him as LT. In the middle, in an award-winning picture, and it was on display in the NFL Hall of Fame as the winning picture. Flutie with the American flag. LT also has a flag. And then you also mentioned Donnie Edwards. I don't know. Anything you can share with the family? You picked the trio. Why the trio?
LT, just how he was on the field as a player. Just to this day, the way he can cut and shift around people was pretty incredible. And his work ethic as well. And also a very humble person. And then Donnie's just a great person. He's been helping out the military, from World War I and II, the veterans, doing stuff with them. And I respect that. And he's just always had a smile on his face and, a good handshake when you see him. So, all those, there's a handful of the people that, I've met over the years. So, good people.
I love it. Now, congratulations to you. There's your award-winning picture, if I'm not mistaken. And to be celebrated, to be featured, showcased in the NFL Hall of Fame. Now, granted, there's a Hall of Fame for players, of course, and as fans, we're passionate about our team. But you're the team photographer, and you're capturing the stories, and it's your story, your picture that you're in the Hall of Fame, brother.
Mm-hmm.
What is that feeling like?
Kind of surreal, I mean, when I won it, it was the overall win that year, and so they actually flew me out to Canton.
Wow.
It was, and it still is. I mean, it's an honor. I've had a few awards since then, and that one still stands out. I mean, it has a special place, and in my heart, and that time, and I'm very happy that it was acknowledged, and to this day, I still hang it up on my wall, and yeah.
I love it. It has a special place in all of our hearts. So congratulations and thank you. You were you were at the right place at the right time. And speaking of the right place at the right time, you have a series of pictures that you said, yeah, I like these two, perhaps more recent, but here's the first one. Very interesting. Tell us, what can you share about this picture?
Yeah, I think that one was just actually this last game. This is something that you couldn't do years ago with film. It's just too dark. I think that's 10,000 ISO. I'm not quite sure, maybe 12. But yeah, it's just the team waiting in the tunnel before the game. And, they got the wall of smoke out there, and, everybody's got their game face on and focused. And, I just kind of like the way it came out in black and white. It's kind of has a dramatic look to it.
Oh, it's dramatic, all right. And I love it. Thank you. And here's another black and white. Tell us, you picked this one. What can you tell us about this one?
It's after the team took the field, they do, offense defense intro. So it's defense, this is before the whole team took the field, because offense was this last week, but they have this new feature that just rains this smoke down, and it's Derwin James. You cannot see through that. It's thick, so you can kind of make out a hand in there, and I think that's just there to tell Derwin to hold up for a minute and before the whole team can take the field. So it's I like it. It's kind of a floaty feel to it with here we go.
And thank you for taking us behind the scenes on that. Here's one more. What do you have here?
It's right above where Derwin was on the last shot. I hung a remote camera, and so every time I press the button with the camera I photographed Derwin with, then that remote will go off. And I had it set to half a second exposure. Unfortunately, it was not my night for remotes. I hung another remote on the arch that you can see at the top, pointing out, and that one I had an error. I did not fire one frame the whole time. And actually on this one, I forgot to tape down the focus ring, and so it shifted a little bit, so it's not quite tack sharp. But this is the players running out through that smoke that Derwin's standing in front of, and with the half-second exposure and all the other light effects they have going on, it kind of created this kind of shadow in the middle that have a player running. So it's kind of a I'll make it crisp and tack sharp the next one, but it's I like it. It's a good start.
Hey, there were some glitches, but I like it too.
Yeah,
I mean, you got
so sometimes it's just you can never be too disappointed if you don't get it, and too excited if you do get it. So I just kind of try and keep an even line. So we'll get it next time, but I like the way it looks.
Well, it gives you an exposure you weren't planning on, and you're like, hey, that's not bad. That's pretty cool. So very nice, brother.
Thank you.
And then you sent this one. What do you got going here?
It's just the guys waiting before they go out for team stretch. It's a moment of just lightness. They've done all their hard work and prep, and it's in the locker room right before they exit to get on the field. So it's I just like it. It's a lower angle with a wider lens, makes the guys look larger than life, and it works. I like it.
Oh, it works. It looks classic. Very nice. And I'm just saying, I'm very grateful here, thanking you for taking us behind the scenes as fans. This is through the Bolt lens. And here's another shot through the Bolt lens. You put these three together. What do you have here?
That was from my Instagram. I did after our win a couple weeks ago, and Khalil got, what is it, 5-6 sacks, and such a humble athlete. He was just happy after the game, just sitting from his locker room, and the guys came over, and the Fox is right there in the foreground, and they're bowing down to him. Then they finally got him up out of his locker and brought him over, and he got a game ball and, broke down the team. It was a good moment. It was, another fly on the wall. But be able to have the guys trust to be in situations like this and be able to capture moments that will be able to be relived later on. So,
and we are reliving them. And after 5 games, we're just hoping for many more of these in the remaining 12. So thank you, brother. And we have one last one. This is the last to bring us home. What can you share here?
Well, the top one is the remote that actually did fire from a previous game. So that's the one that I couldn't get to work this last game. But it's a different perspective. I hang a camera upside down underneath the Bolt arch for player introductions, and I fire it with each press of the button of my other camera. And so the bottom shot is my handheld camera. I just put it on the ground and get behind the players as they run out onto the field and, get that look. And then I got the overhead look. So it's just 2 different perspectives, basically with one photographer. So always like to get something different and, always thinking about ways to show the team in a different light, different angle, different mood. That's just one of them.
Hey, great shot. Terrific. Thank you. Great memories. And thank you for spending your off day with us. And you were grinding after the last home game on a Monday night of all nights. So you were grinding, and this is Wednesday. And thank you for taking this time, brother. We'll get back to some more thanks, but I love the pictures, love the sharing, love the stories, the memories. As fans, we can relate to all of the above, except you're bringing it to us through the Bolt lens and the Bolt game day experience for your experience on the field. So thank you for that. We'll come back to some more. And at this point, Webmaster, can you, we're going to go to a public service announcement, Bolt Pride Worldwide family, before we come back for the closing and announcement of the next party stop. So stick around. Webmaster, can you please take us to the public service announcement? Thank you. Alvarez, Bolt Pride Worldwide. But in this public service announcement, I am Alvarez the educator. I transform student lives at San Diego City College and everywhere I go by turning on the lights to make students aware of the culture for learning that exists in every institution of higher education. Here are the 2 parts of the learning culture. On the right is what it means to know how to approach the learning, including a formula for approaching the learning and other strategies. And on the left is what it means to have a mindset for learning. This is the most important part. Give me a student who has a strong mindset for learning, and I'm going to show you a successful student. In higher education, it is expected that students know and apply this learning culture to create their own success. Unfortunately, the majority of students, and especially first-generation college students, are in the dark with regards to the learning culture. I was once a first-generation college student, and I too was in the dark. What did I know about the learning culture when I began my college studies? Nothing. My background is in engineering. I have a bachelor's from Harvey Mudd College and a master's from USC. Yet I was one of the lucky ones. I survived by instinct. I could not tell you then how I did it, but I know it now. It is called learning culture. This is educational wealth and a form of privilege. And I have made it my mission through free learning culture training videos to make this available to all students. Other videos include Why Learning Culture, and leadership, internships, and research, because beyond developing scholars, the learning culture develops leaders. Also, an educational planning basics video is available with things to know. I also recommend my book, Turning on the Lights, Using Learning Culture to Increase Student Success, as a reference with up to 40 student stories to bring the learning culture to life. If you know anyone in college or on their way to college, please invite them to visit turningonthelights.com as soon as possible. They'll be glad they did. Thank you for being inspired to spark this learning culture revolution wherever you know it is needed. God bless. Yes, sir. There's our buddy, our brother Mike. Webmaster, you joined us for the closing. Are you out there? Yes, he is. Now, before we bring up the pictures in this closing, we got the shades on. As I was listening to Mike and the storytelling, and I love the stories, I love the pictures, I realized I fumbled. There was one legendary Mike Nowak picture that I didn't include, so I had to bring it out here myself. Let me see. Yeah, that's about as good as it's going to get this way. Yeah, LT. LT, shout out LT. I know you're out there watching, but this was LT would represent the Bull Pride. It was all about Bull Pride, and he would wear the shirts under his shoulder, under his pads, and he would wear them into warm-ups. And in this classic picture, our brother Mike Nowak, he caught the moment when LT in the Bull Pride t-shirt was heading out for warm-ups, yes, at Lambeau Field. So that was just classic. And of course, it's framed and it's in my family room. This is a prize picture. Brother, thank you for that. I just wanted to share that. I fumbled. It wasn't in the collage of pictures in the PowerPoint, but that was classic. When I saw that, I mean, you saw LT going to the field wearing his Bull Pride shirt, huh?
Every game, it was awesome. Who he is, and that's what made him special. So yeah.
It really did. Well, thank you. And now to take us to the closing, the announcement of the next party stop. Webmaster, can you please bring up the pictures one last time? Yes, sir. That was a last picture shared by Mike. There they are. And they're out there. And you know we're coming, baby. This is Bull Pride 602. This is the three magi, the three wise men. We're coming, baby. Bolts may not be playing in Arizona this year, but they'll be coming back. And you're holding it down for the worldwide family. And last year in 2022, in Bull Pride's 31st year, this is Bull Pride's 32nd, but in her 31st, the family came to the Valley of the Sun. The family came to party with the wise men, the magi, the three wise men brothers. And there were hundreds. I think there was well over 300 at the meet and greet. And we took over. And that party stop was legendary. I know there's some people having to dry out a little bit after that to recover for the next weekend, but it was amazing. And what's going to be even more amazing to have the family meet you at the next Bull Pride podcast party stop. I can't wait, brother. So thank you for your support. Way to represent. Big props. We're going to meet you in 2 weeks. I think it's November the 1st. Wednesday, November 1st. Mark it down. We're going to the Valley of the Sun, to the Bull Pride 602. Thank you. We'll see you there, brothers. Webmaster, can you remove the pictures? Thank you. This brings us to the closing. We can't wait for the next party, but we're not done with this party stop. First of all, again, blessings to the Bull Pride Worldwide family. Wherever you may be, God bless. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us on this party train. And stay tuned for more updates. But in this one, unique, so special, through the Bolt lens. And for 25 years, congratulations. That is fantastic. And we give big thanks to our Bolt buddy, brother, family member, Mike Nowak, honorary Bull Pride family member. And and tell us, Mike Nowak Photography, you mentioned your Instagram. Where can people find you? How can people learn about you, your services? Give a shout out, please.
Yeah, just Instagram's Mike Nowak Photo. And then on the Chargers website, they galleries every week. That's where you'll find my photos along with Ty's and a couple other people that we have working for us. So it's great content, great images every week. Come check it out.
Absolutely. Family, come check it out. And not only can check it out, you see Mike at SoFi on the road. You know he's circling that field. Give him a shout out. Mike Nowak, Mike. And strike a pose, because Mike will likely turn around and take that picture, you representing. So thank you for that. Thank you for joining us. Huh? Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us today, brother. It's great to meet you in this way. Much love, much respect. Thank you again. And then our webmaster, in his 20th year with the Worldwide family, bringing his talents every time. And tonight again, no exception. Webmaster, I'm glad you joined us. Thank you. And I hope you again enjoyed the storytelling and really appreciate you, brother. And we'll see you again in 2 weeks in the Valley of the Sun. So now we close out. It's always a pleasure. It's always a party. And I can't wait for the next one. First of all, in Kansas City, we'll see you in this. Hey, Mike, we'll see you this weekend in Kansas City. I'll shoot you the party plans. Maybe you join us at the meet and greet and you get another pint. And we'll take another picture of you. But until we see each other, be it in Kansas City, be it in the Valley of the Sun, wherever that might be, I can't wait. This is Alvarez, Bull Pride, Worldwide, out. Woo! Thank you for taking us in credits. Webmaster, we'll see you in the after party, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you.